Earlier this week, we took a look at the top 10 quarterbacks, and up next, we got the best playmakers in high school football. Now, it was an even split between wide receivers and running backs, with 5 each represented from both positions. 8 of the 10 players selected will be seniors heading into the 2018 season, while the other 2 are both running backs from the class of 2020. Starting it off is North Shore's 5-star running back, Zachary Evans. He put up big-time numbers as a sophomore despite sharing time in the backfield. He balled for nearly 1,500 yards and 27 touchdowns, and added another 300 yards receiving. He will be the featured back in 2018, so expect some monster numbers for Evans during his junior campaign. The other player selected from the class of 2020 checks in at number 9, and it is Buchanan's 5-star running back, Kendall Milton. You see him on tape, and you see why he's a top 10 recruit in his class. He's the complete package. He's big, fast, can break tackles, run over defenders, has great vision, and has breakaway speed. Milton has already landed nearly 40 D1 offers, and expect more to come for the very talented running back. Sticking with backs, Jackson Preps' Jerrion Ely checks in at number 8. The 2020 Ole Miss commit has one of the best highlight tapes out there. Now, I know it's unfair to compare any player to Bo Jackson, but with Ely being a big-time baseball prospect and with his size, it is hard not to see the comp. He brings that same physical athleticism to the gridiron and diamond. It's rare to see a 6'8" wide receiver, but that is where we find the number 7 player on the list, Cajon's Darren Jones. The 4-star playmaker had a monster junior season, hauling in over 100 receptions for nearly 2,100 yards and 28 touchdowns. He brings that Randy Moss type of talent to the field where you could just throw it up and he's going to come down with it. Him and his 4-star quarterback, Jaden Daniels, make for one of the best duos in high school football. Now, getting back to the running backs, Harding University's Quavaris Crouch checks in at number 6. He put up insane numbers during his junior season. He had over 3,000 yards rushing and 31 scores, and on the other side of the rock, he had 14 sacks. Crouch was named the North Carolina Gatorade Football Player of the Year in 2017, and there will be a good chance he repeats during his senior season. The second dude from Texas checks in at number 5, and it is Cuero's 4-star wide receiver, Jordan Whittington. The 2019 Texas commit makes plays on all 3 phases of the game. He had nearly 1,500 yards receiving and 16 touchdowns, added 3 interceptions on defense, and was one of the most dangerous return specialists in the country last season. Expect an even bigger year in 2018 for the future Longhorn. Modern day's 5-star athlete Brew McCoy checks in at number 4 to give California its 3rd and final player featured in the top 10. The scary thing with McCoy is he would legit be a 5-star recruit at wide receiver or linebacker if that was his only position. He's the best 2-way player in the country. With the Monarchs losing Amon-Ra St. Brown, CJ Parks, and Nika Remigio, expect McCoy to put up monster numbers on offense this year, and with Mace Funa suffering an injury that should keep him out most of the year, expect McCoy to be the leader on defense. Brew's new quarterback, Bryce Young, was featured on our top 10 quarterbacks list, making Modern Day one of 3 schools to be featured on both of our first top 10 so far. The number 3 player on the list is the top-rated player in all of Georgia, Cedar Grove's 5-star wide receiver, Jaden Hazelwood. He's got some of the best tape out of any player in the country. He has it all: speed, size, agility, route running, and great hands. The 2019 Georgia commit checks in as the number 1 wide receiver on 24/7 Sports player composite rankings and is rated as the 6th best player overall. The Sunshine State features the number 2 player in our top 10, IMG Academy's 5-star running back, Trey Sanders. The former Alabama commit checks in as the number 1 back in the country, and it's easy to see why. The dude's built like a truck and is one of the fastest running backs in the nation. Sanders would be the top-rated player in all of Florida if it wasn't for his teammate Nolan Smith, who you will see when we drop our top 10 defensive players on July 12th. The 5-star back also checks in as the number 7 player overall from the class of 2019 on 24/7 Sports player composite rankings. The number 1 playmaker in high school football is the top-rated player from Texas, and it is Lake Travis's 5-star wide receiver, Garrett Wilson. The 2019 Ohio State commit is an absolute freak on the football field. He's putting up big-time numbers for one of the best programs in the country, and he has played in the state title game in back-to-back years. Lake Travis won it all in 2016 and lost in 2017 to Allen. He had nearly 2,000 yards receiving during his junior season to go with 26 TDs, and expect him and Hudson Card to be one of the most lethal duels in the country in 2018.